5 seconds. Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to move that the third 5-year plan laid on the table of the House be taken into consideration. It was almost exactly a year ago that I moved the motion for consideration of the draft outline of the third plan, and this House was pleased to give its approval to it. Previous to that, it fell to my lot to place before this House the first 5-year plan in December 1952 and the second plan in May 1956. I am moving this motion for consideration not on behalf of the Planning Commission, of which I have the honor to be chairman, but as a matter of fact, this is not the work of the Planning Commission only. It has had naturally the full cooperation and support of the central government and their departments and ministries, of the state governments, the chief ministers and their governmental apparatus, and a large number of other organizations and specialist individuals who are included in various panels and organizations, even going down in many cases to panchayats and the like, so that this is very much a joint effort, and I should like it to be considered as that joint effort and not the work of a few eminent persons who have given a good deal of thought and labor to its preparation. Many honorable members of this House have been associated with the consideration this or parts of it in various stages. I put it forward, therefore, as this joint effort, not as a party program, but I hope representing, if not everybody, a very large number of individuals and groups in this House and outside. Indeed, ever since this has been published in the press, the reactions thus far have been very largely in its favor. It has been approved of. Naturally and rightly, there have been criticisms. We welcome these criticisms, but the broad approach of it has been welcomed. Now, it is true that the party out of which the present government has come is intimately interested in this plan, and they have given it their support because it represents certain principles for which they have stood not only today, not for the last 10 or 12 years, but at least for 32 years ever since 1929, and at that time some honorable members who sit opposite today were themselves associated with the great organization which I have the honor to represent. Even in 1929, the Congress has had two objectives in view: democracy and socialism. Socialism was not put in its objective and creed and all that, but in its resolutions it appeared. Gradually, the idea has developed, but the basic concept has been there in the Congress since 1929. I say this because some people seem to imagine that these concepts are of recent growth. Of course, long before 1929 and long before the Congress more or less officially adopted them, there were large number of people in the Congress and outside who believed in them and spoke about them. Therefore, let us, I respectfully submit, treat this plan not in a party sense but as a national plan in which the broad approaches have been agreed to by all, but which is always susceptible to criticism and improvement in many of its detailed applications. It is a matter of pride to me that the organization with which many of us have been associated, and I have been associated too, very nearly half a century now, and through all these years has laid stress on this broader social outlook which this plan represents. Ever since independence, we have come to greater grips with this subject and freedom. We started on this exciting pilgrimage through 5-year plans and the like, and gradually this concept of planning has seeped down into our people all over the country. There is no doubt about it. And the broad aspects of this planning have also gradually and progressively be understood by them and approved by them. Indeed, it is astonishing that during these last few years, 10 years or so, that we have been planning, the amount of attention that our plans have drawn from the rest of the world has been surprising and gratifying. They have drawn attention even from countries which in their own domestic spheres have different types of economy, whether it is the economy of the capitalist variety or the economy of the communist or social varieties. Their attention has been drawn. I do not say that they agree with all that we have said or intend to do, but they have recognized this as a matter of greatest importance, that is, tremendous effort is being made by the Indian people to pull themselves up almost to the grassroots, as it were. And they have recognized the people, the basic principle of planning. They have recognized the basic principle and the general structure of the plan also.